I think we have a couple of microphones, and we've got two. This young woman right here. Yes.
Thanks. Hi, my question's about Social Security reform, and I'm glad you mentioned it today. And I'm asking because I feel like my generation has given up hope that we're going to receive a Social Security check when we retire. So with the current state, and I want to know, as president, what's your specific plan to fix Social Security for my generation? Specifically, would you protect the Social Security Trust Fund that's running a surplus right now? But right now, Congress can dip its hand into it and spend it on other programs. That has nothing to do with Social Security.
Right.
Thank you.
Very, very good question. Well, first let me make 3 points. Number one, we have a long-term challenge to Social Security, but not a crisis. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be solvent until 2041. Therefore, we've got to take some steps in the next few years to expand that. When we had a balanced budget and a surplus back in the 90s, we had a projection that the Social Security Trust Fund would be solvent until 2055. So we lost 14 years because we went from surplus in the budget back into deficit. And we had people, as you rightly say, kind of putting their hand into the Social Security Trust Fund. So we need to get back to fiscal responsibility for a lot of reasons. One of them is to replenish and protect the Social Security Trust Fund. And I believe strongly that we should have as much of a hands-off approach as possible. You know, back in the late 90s and in the 2000 campaign, my husband and Vice President Gore used to talk about putting Social Security in a lockbox, those of you old enough to remember that, to try to keep it from being raided for all these ongoing expenses of the government that nobody wanted either to cut spending or raise taxes. So that's something that I think is necessary. We also should look at a bipartisan commission to get everybody together to make these decisions, because that's what we did back in 1983. In 83, the pressures on the Social Security Trust Fund were much more intense, and people were worried about it literally running out of money within the decade. So the Republicans and the Democrats got together and they made some decisions that were not disruptive, but which built back up the trust fund and made all the difference. And that's what we're going to have to do again. So I will certainly address that, and I hope that we'll be able to resolve that when I'm president.